everyone, and welcome to another book review. And don't mind background. This book review is Scarlett St. Clair's book, A Touch of Darkness. This is a Hades and Persephone's retelling because I love a good Hades and Persephone story. And I was drawn to this one because at first I saw it as somebody recommended on TikTok saying it was a dark romance. And I was like, dark romance, you know? I saw that it was a Hades and Persephone's retelling and I was like, now I'm even more intrigued. My fault in this though was thinking this was a single book, not a series. And I didn't buy it first. I bought the 6th book. What was it? A Game of Gods was the one that I bought. And I ended up wrapping it up because it does not state that it's a series book. I wrapped it up in my mystery TBR. So I have no clue where that one is. I saw that Wally World and I found it. And I was like, well. So then, before I read this, I had done put it on my TBR. Ended up this being the first book I picked from my mystery TBR. Luckily, I had bought the second one to go with it, A Game of Fate. And I didn't wrap it up. And that's the only 3 that I have of the series. I don't have 3, 4, and 5. And I already know 7 isn't out yet because she postponed it. And that's perfectly fine because it's going to be a minute before I buy the next books. But this was really good. Let me tell you, I read the first chapter on September 11th, that night. And it is now September 13th. It took a total of a little over 2 days to finish this book because I couldn't put it down. It is 389 pages long. Usually it takes me a minute to finish a book. This did not disappoint, and I could not put it down. I could not. Like, look at that. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. The romantasy, at least people would say, but it is a Greek god retelling. So, review. My tabs, if you're wondering, because a lot of people question me on my tabs. It's just a personal thing I do. The purples are for when I decide to reread this series and tandem read it. Because apparently people do that, and because this book is this is Persephone's point of view, this is Hades' point of view, and you tandem read them. See, I've marked up here all the tandem reads. So when I decide to reread it, because I just wanted to just read it, because I'm already a confused person as it is. And it's also for quotes. And then I got a details one, and then I got a romance section. This did not disappoint in the romance. I am going to rate it a 4.5, though is leaning very heavily onto a 5 out of 5. Due to the fact of, like, it has a lot of romance. Most of this is romance scenes, though some of the romance scenes seem very short-lived compared to some of the other dark romances I have read. Like Haunting and Hunting Adeline, obviously. They didn't live up to... Honestly, I don't think any book's going to live up to that. I don't think any of them will. But they were still good. They were juicy. They were good, but some of them were just short, if you know what I mean. I did get some really good quotes, and the first book had a lot in it, though I do think it was maybe a little bit fast, even though I am going to rate it a 5 out of 5. This is definitely worth your time. If this is sitting on your TBR and you have not decided on reading it, go read it. Go read it. But I definitely want to know what happens next. But I also know I have to read Hades' point of view before I decide to get, what was it? Give me a sec. Before I get A Touch of Ruin, I need to read Hades' point of view. And let me tell you, it might seem like a chore to do, but out of this book, reading it in Persephone's point of view of everything that's happening, I don't think you're going to be rereading the same book. But I will let you know when I'm done with this one. Worth your time. The thing is, I don't believe myself like I'm reviewing this in a way that you wouldn't understand, because everybody knows the Hades and Persephone story. This is basically it in the first book. Like, the main story everybody is getting told. She's a journalist. Her mom, you know, clingy, everything like that. And then she makes a contract with Hades. She falls in love with Hades, and Hades falls in love with her. She also turns the nymph into a plant, which I think it's funny every time I hear about it. I just well deserved, because that feels like something I would do. If I had powers like that, I would. Now, we all know she is... Go ahead and skip this if you don't know the actual story and you just want to read it. She is the goddess of fertility. Like, everybody knows this, but she does not know this yet in the story, as you all would expect. The first book, she does not know this. She still believes she is the goddess of spring, but every time she touches a plant, it dies. It dies. And now that she has awakened her powers, which she's still learning, she just awakened them close to the end of the book, everything's dark, goth. Like, she belongs in the underworld, and she does. She does. The fates know. The fates know. This opinion, I think this was worth the read. This is definitely my type of book. This is good. I'm definitely going to get the rest of them. I'm hoping the Hades lives up to my expectations after reading the Persephone's, because it just better. It looks like it's got more pages. It most definitely does have about 100 more pages. Let me look at this. Yeah, 100. Yeah, 402 pages. I was right. But read this for yourself. When I get done with this one, I will make a video letting you know how it was. I've updated my little journal on this, because it is a retelling, fated mates, enemies to lover, dark romance, and forced proximity. My favorite chapter was 24, when she turned the nymph into a fern. And here, it's just, it's good. Definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time. And as in dark romance, it's a soft dark romance. Just in case you're wondering, it is a soft dark romance. It's not like the Hunting Adeline. It is a soft. Some people would just say a romance, but the thing is, she was captured. Like, there isn't like, it is definitely not hunting dark romance, but it is a dark, like, in reality, the Hades and Persephone story is supposed to be a dark romance. Go read this. Go read this. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!